Me well, I hope. So I hope this hackathon is going super well for you. So if you don't know me, my name is Oussama Ammar. I am one of the co-founder of The Family. The Family is a company that helps people build a startup. And today we are going to talk together about a very important subject, how to make money. Um, I don't know why I have the feeling that it's more and more difficult for entrepreneurs to think money. The funny thing is that if you look at entrepreneurship 20 years ago, it was only about making money. People that were considering themselves as entrepreneur were considering that their main skill is about making money. How do you make money? Was like the most important question of any business. And then there had been the success of few outlier like Facebook, Google, blah, blah, blah. There are companies that didn't make any money for a long time, reaching scale and then making money. The problem is that whatever you tell yourself about this company, they are outliers. They are not the regular company. There is one Google every 1 million company that are created. And most of the company needs to think about how to have a sustainable business model right away. And sustainable business model is really about how do you find a way to capture a part of the value that you provide to customer. So in that sense, money is really a function of who you are and what you are doing, and it's a function of what you are building as a company. So if you are building something that everybody wants, then getting a part of it and getting paid for it is quite easy. So there is multiple things and multiple mistake people do about money. The mistake number one is that money relationship look like religion. It's really hard for people to have a relationship with money that is not based on fear, and especially in France, where people have the feeling that when they take money from someone, they are scamming him. You know, they are taking money from his pocket, and this money is precious, and things like that. So, of course, making money is super, super important, but entrepreneurs are struggling in the sense that they don't know how to correctly take money. The second thing about money is that usually when you take money inside a company, it's about having the right pricing. And a lot of entrepreneurs tend to under-evaluate themselves. A lot of entrepreneurs tend to pick a price that is not adapted at all to the market. They love to be cheap. They love to be below the market. And that's create a situation where how to say that, create a situation where you are not paid at the value you are supposed to be paid. And that's a big problem because it creates a company that is weaker. And when you are weaker, you have less margin. When you have less margin, you have less mean to survive, develop your company, reinvest, and things like that. And that also come because in your generation, a lot of people think that all this weakness can be just taken by fundraising, and fundraising happen in companies. And that's a big problem because fundraising is not something that is supposed to be easy or happening that easy. You have to work hard, you have to give back accounts. You should never raise money unless you don't have any other choice than raising money. So making money is as simple as providing people something they want, and especially providing something people don't really understand they want it. If you can understand better than them what they need and what they want from them, then you should be able to provide this to them. And by providing this, you put yourself in a position where you are taking a part of this value for yourself. One simple mistake that I see all the time about money making is to think that money will come later. For example, you give your service for free and you tell yourself that one day people will pay. So let's be very clear. If people don't pay right away, they will never pay. Actually, even if you are launching something for free, one of the advice, very counterintuitive advice that I give a lot of entrepreneurs, is that you should invoice your client, even if your product is free at the beginning, to test demand and then switching to free. So the question can be, how do you make money when your product is free? Usually when your product is free, you are making money from a side business. Google product is free for the consumer facing, but they have an advertising business. That's the most risky strategy of all, because you are depending on the goodwill of someone else. And you are depending on the goodwill of someone that will pay for your bills and pay for everything that you are going to provide. Warren Buffett have this rule in business. He say that the risk of a business is how many things they do for free. And a very simple way of de-risking a business is to never lose money. So try to think the money element of your business as soon as possible. Try as soon as possible in the design of your company to think how I'm going to make money, where the money is coming from, and what can I do to be sure that I will get a good part of the money. Guys, what will be interesting is that you ask me question on this. It will feel less alone to talk. It's pretty hard to talk in front of a camera like that without any interaction with real human. So you seem to more profitability than growth. Is it the same position for the family? Not at all. Arthur, you are overstepping on what I said. I said make money. I didn't say make profit. Profit is a strategic decision. What people don't understand about companies that are not making profit is that it's not because they are not making profit that they are not massively making money. If you look at a company like Uber is not making profit, but the core model is super profitable. Then they decide to invest in the autonomous car and technology and growth and marketing, but that's a strategic decision. What I'm talking about is that your unit economics, meaning the most central part of your business, the most element part of your business, should be profitable. If your unit economics are not profitable, you are taking the risk to die because someone else will decide. Then if your unit economics are profitable, your company can lose money. If you have a good growth, good bargain, you are going fast, then people will be ready to help you. For example, PayFit is super profitable from unit economics, but not profitable as a company because they are hiring a lot of people. How do you decide how much you are going to go and charge? So there is a game at the family we like to call double your price. We take a random company in the family and we tell them to double their price. It's very uncommon that doubling your price doesn't that people stop to pay you because you double your price. I think the best way to find your pricing is to try to charge as much as possible and to see how people react and then adjust from that. How to know how to fix a good price. So Julie, just look at what your competition is doing and just try to take as much money as you can and see if that creates friction or not. I think you should never be shy with your pricing. How do you make money when you launch a new product, when you have mature product on your segment? Typically HR. Payfit, it's a HR company. They made money on day one, even when the product was not ready. If people are not ready to pay you a bit, they will never be ready to pay you at all. Of course, Payfit now with a more mature product can charge more money and they increase price over time. By the way, a very bad advice that people are giving is that it's easier to reduce the price than increase the price. Just increase your price over time, but charge something as early as possible. Question. What are you developing during this hackathon? Tell me your project in the chat. De rien. Is it okay to sell service at first with your product? Yes. At the beginning, if you are a bit late with your product or your product is not ready, selling service is a great way to make money. It's a great way to be in a position where you can have enough cash flow coming to be able to go to next stage. 36 local commerce. What does it mean? Why only 36? Why not on why not 420? Sorry, guys. With my team, we are building a virtual assistant to ad manager give feedback to the team in a remote context. Depi, can you open the door? And yeah, but use the other one to tell them that it's on 6th floor. 6e étage. With my team, we are building a virtual assistant to help manager give feedback to the team in a remote context. You press the button and then you can speak. Tell him 6e étage. How? 6e étage. 6e étage. Sorry, guys. With my team, we are building a virtual assistant to help manager give feedback to the team in a remote context. That's cool. I think every tools in remote that help to feel less alone in remote is a very good tool right now. We are building an app to summarize all video call. Lazar, tell us how you do that. That looks super interesting. Excuse me 1 minute, guys. We record your screen and let you select the best moment. Okay, that's cool. How to sell a product that could be optional during the period of shelter? Mark, you cannot sell a product that is optional right now. Right now, the only thing that sell is products that are used right now. So don't do wishful thinking. Teacher is a web and mobile application allowing students to benefit from modern assistant problem. How does it work? The student take a picture of his problem. So Arno, it's funny. One of my partner did that. His name is Matthias Pastor. He did exactly this company. He ended up being super sad of how depressing this company was. What about a product like social networks? When they launch their product, there is no charge, so no earning. They integrate charge for oversight market. Yeah, so you have to understand. Um, you have to understand that building social networks, building company like Facebook and things like that, they are exception and they have exceptional traction right away. If you have 10 million users that come on your platform, um, and these users are like very motivated to use your app every day, like Facebook or Snapchat, then you can find investors, and you find investors that are willing to give you the money to be ready. But these kind of companies are the exception. You have to understand that they are not the norm. You need to not have a small traction with this kind of company. You need to have a totally exceptional traction to be able to have this kind of company. In the end, we'll probably. In your opinion, what is the biggest challenge for manager dealing with remote team at the moment? I think the biggest challenge is that most of the people are not used to work remote, and I think that a lot of jobs are not that remote compatible. For example, everything that is based on energy, like sales, have a really hard time to switch remote. Do you think that this crisis will change our way to sell? Yeah, I think this crisis will change everything by definition. Maybe change will mean that we go back to the same. Maybe it will be different, but for sure, is never going to be exactly the same. Hope you're doing good. Let's imagine the family explode, and you have a lot of free time. What business you will you start if your main goal was to make big money? That's a really good question. Um, I have this dream from a long time to open an airline company. Not the right moment to do that, but maybe after confinement, when all the airline company will be dead, we can build an airline company that have a real brand love. I think there is a real opportunity to build a company that is built totally different than the usual company. Do you think that selling an MVP service is a good solution to validate that people are ready to take out their bank card and refund them if they are not happy? Yeah, make people pay as early as possible, as often as possible. It's super, super important. What is your position regarding either spending everything in our product and not being profitable at all, or providing service next to it in order to survive at the beginning? Um, I'm not sure. Can you try the question again? Because um, I'm not sure after I got your question. Can you try again? If you are looking for an associate to launch an airline company, I can send you my LinkedIn. Please, Gauthier, do that. Ingénieur en dynamite. Interesting. I'm on your LinkedIn now. How many people are doing this online hackathon right now? Yeah, Arthur, I got that. But what I didn't get is how can you think it's a choice? You have to do whatever is necessary to do. If you can avoid to do it, avoid to do it. But if you need to do it to go to the next step, you should always do what other people ask you to do. Like if you have no other choice than making consulting to build your business, you should do. Daitaiku is a $1.8 billion company. They raise more than 200 million now. and they did the first 2 years just selling services to understand customer, and they did like 2 or 3 million in revenue. That don't define their company, but that make them go from 0 to 1. Do you think that it's a good time to launch HR product? Yeah, I don't think it's a really good moment to build an HR company. What is your best practice for working remotely in your company, and what is missing in this remote experience? That's a good question. I think it's go a lot about having people know what you are working on and giving them the feeling that you are here. It creates isolation and self-isolation very fast, and I don't know how you fight that with quarantine. How much do you think brand culture and identity impacts on money making? How much do you think brand culture and identity impact on money making? I don't think it has a lot of impact, to be honest. Outside fashion brand and things like that, but I think in most of the mainstream thing, it doesn't really matter. Okay, last question, guys. So I will finish on a note for all of you in your hackathon. The mistake I see young people like you do all the time is to try to do things that are too big and not pragmatic enough. So try to think about things that are simple to achieve, that you can deliver right now. Don't try to do something totally complete, but totally imperfect. Try to do something perfect, but totally incomplete. The first iPhone was lacking a lot of feature. That did not mean that it was not beautiful. That did not mean that the features that were there were not impressive. So what you have to understand is that building something perfect but incomplete, that's your goal. You have to achieve a wow effect with a very small feature that is achievable in a very small team. And that's what creates something with excitement. Most of you are thinking about businesses, not feature. Think feature. Think what is the most impressive wow effect that you can do. If I were to participate to the second, what you will build, I will build a chat roulette, a kinky chat roulette. I think that will be the best project for confinement. Something that help people have fun and meeting strangers and making new friends online. Thank you very much, everyone. It was very cool to talk to you. Enjoy this hackathon. Good luck.